Hello to all winter spinning enthusiasts. Right now every fishing trip counts. We have little time, little good weather. And before the ice forms, we must definitely catch this fish that is still biting. In this video I will tell you some of my developments, some of my, so to speak, information and practice about catching predators in cold water, about baits and their features. So, guys, if you're interested, stick around and watch this video until the end. Very often manufacturers make 3-inch lures in the shape of 2-inch ones, or their best analogs. This happens very often and almost always. They are also very effective, but there is, so to speak, a limit to the size. Sometimes the thin line gets tangled in the wind. You have to be careful and cautious with your rod so you don't just break it. Well, let's make a light cast. I'll try fishing just off the bottom with a larger lure. So to catch at the feet, as I call it, at the very feet also, with a light throw of the momishing. I want to tell you that the best time to fish is in the cold season, like now. On the lure 2 inches and lighter weights, if you really want to catch bass, that is 1.5, 2 grams, 2 inches, 1.5 inches. This is what you'll catch really well on. If you know that miss is a large perch or a glutton, you can insert 3 inches of silicone or any other. But in my opinion, the best option is definitely the 2-inch silicone lures, the 2-inch baits. Good edible rubber is exactly what he likes. Small larvae, all sorts, with a rhinoceros on them. It bites, just the way you need it. And everything that is bigger is only for a good feeding frenzy. Well, and really, for a large, huge perch, I would say. So you just can't catch it on a jig. On a large silicone lure, To throw it further away, it's obvious. Just look for it there from the middle. There, it might bite. Maybe somewhere over there we'll find some fish. Because it's a big perch. A big fish. She's not afraid of this lure anymore. Either a big school that comes in. That's when we get bites. If we come across a big school, they're not picky. There's a lot of competition among them. They take larger lures if there are single individuals, or schools of 2, 3, 4, or 5 perch. They start looking for something tasty, sorting through things. They're tricky, those fish. These fish are tricky. The lure is still intact. So far so good, and now let's try to cast further out there and pull it towards the shore. It bites about 15 meters from the shore. Right here there's a slight drop-off, a transition from deep water, and usually he stands right under it waiting. Who should we sit with? Who will come to him? Let's go perch. We're trying. I think there was a light nibble, and now I'm holding the pause a bit longer. When a light tap happens, I wait and don't let the lure drift too far from that spot, so that... No, he doesn't want to chase it, so I wait for him to catch up when I hear some movements. Wow, right at the pause, there he is. He took it right during the pause. A nice one. A really nice perch, guys. This one is just... He's lively, just as I said, a really big perch. Just what I needed. You can loosen the drag a bit, because this perch is probably, well, I don't know how much, but a lot. Probably under 200 for sure. That's a nice perch. Look, the rod is bending. Let's grab him with our hand. Here's a little guy. This is already what we wanted, as I said, for a big lure. They're covering such big ones, really chubby. Look how chubby he is. A little big chubby perch. There he is, right over there. A large and chubby perch, right in front of us. Nice piece of cake. Nice perch. I like this kind of fish. It's really nice to catch something like this. When you catch big perch, it's always great. Let's release you.
Catch it.
Well done. Stay put and cast again. There will be more fish. If you happen to have a bite or not, try casting a fan. You will definitely get one. If you caught one fish somewhere, it means there is a school of fish further on. Perch. Do not swim alone. There are usually 2, 3, 5 of them swimming. Maybe a large school, or maybe less. So keep casting and you'll always get a bite from the same spot. Here's another perch, not bad. Caught him a bit further out. On pause. Had to wait. I paused and we got a tap, a nibble. He chased after the big lure, but as you can see, he can't take it fully in his mouth. He takes it by the edge and swallows it by the hook. He was chasing after it. I could feel how he was chasing it. There were a few taps, then again a tap, 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 and somewhere closer to here, you could say, near the middle by the bank drop-off, he caught up to it. So I also feel it sometimes. It's when he catches up and tries to attack. You can see, he bit at the tail, but didn't catch up. He bit at the tail for the second time, but didn't catch up. And then somewhere closer, already longer at the bottom, I left it there for a bit longer. And you can see, he's already sucked it in, like this. Oh, that's a nice perch. He sucked it in, as they say. Wow, it got off. It got off because the lure is 3 inches long, and he's taking it by the edge. He can't eat it completely, as they say. He grabs it by the edge, and his mouth just can't reach the hook. He doesn't suck it in. The perch is good, palm-sized, yes. But it seems like he doesn't have that super feeding frenzy to just gulp it down all the way to the weight, as they say. And all the bites are coming from the bottom. So when the lure touches the bottom, lying on the bottom, we had a little bump while moving. Come here. Ah, and he was asleep. And he was asleep. And I pulled it, you see what it's called, I rolled it. I got him so completely carried away that he simply and absolutely pulled the bait on his tail. Yes, he got truly carried away indeed. He rolled it on the tail of the lure in a manner that was unexpected, and surprisingly, he didn't finish it again. Sometimes the bite is good and you catch with large baits. You think, I'm going to catch a big fish now. But it's not always like that. The small fish are trying to bite, but can't swallow the large lure. She can't even get to the center of it to get hooked. She's always pulling at the tail. By doing that, guys, he's just pulling it off the hook. In such moments, you need to switch to a smaller lure. Well, we've picked a general direction for ourselves, and now we're making all the casts where he's biting. Once he bites there, once, twice, 3 times, he's hanging around in that area. So we don't need to come up with something new. We're fishing where he is. And again, I rolled it 3 inches and he can't take it because he's just rolling it and pulling it off. You see? He's always like this. So sneaky, our little rascal. He's just trying it and that's it. He's probably thinking, man, how many times have I bitten this lure, this worm already? And I'm rolling back and forth all the time when I've already eaten it. And I'm interested in it. And he's interested in it. Probably for both of us. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Moreover, I can feel you're a good person. Just a solid guy, but they hit the horse. They're just cheerful, lively like that. There are fishing trips where you have to coax them along the bottom, you know. It's like every time you have to coax them slowly with the jig, just like I said, tap, tap, tap. But sometimes you get a really strong bite. Boom, boom, boom. Those are the fun ones. Today, the bites are lively, despite this wind and this weather. But man, that bite is such a tease. It grabs it by the tail and just rolls around. Just working it around. Right now in cold water, pike often bites on small micro jig lures. This happens repeatedly. At every fishing trip, there are a few bites. The thing is, pike doesn't always chase after big, large silicone lures. It often likes small 2-3 inch lures with light weights. There's a 2-gram, 3-gram chebroshka, and it often bites. This time I experienced the same thing as always. I caught a pike. Let's try. There's another one. Wow. There's a light retrieve on the drag. Wow, look at what we have here. Little pike. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's definitely a pike, guys. The drag is working. It's cracking. It's cracking. Awesome. Definitely a pike. Definitely a pike. Come here, baby. That's her. That's her. I'm sure it bends really well. Alright, it's coming from the very bottom. Wow. Oh, look. And the snag. Come here. There she is. A small pike. Right now, you know, we can even lift it with this rod on the drag almost effortlessly. This is how you should handle the main rod when lifting the fish. Don't hold it vertically. In this way so that it works. That's all the parts, the tip. And So we got it, a pike, and we're taking her. Both. Here you go. A pike on the ultralight. Bam! And she flew in. Come here, baby. Now we're going to get you. Let's take it. And she sat down, just sat down right on our bait. Look at that. Completely, the little silicone bait came off, and here you go. I got her by the edge. Lucky she didn't bite off the fluorocarbon. And we're without bait. It turns out that this is the kind of pike that has bitten us. You made us happy. Come on, come on. Well done. Clever girl, just. Good girl. When frequent bites occur, the fish pulls off the bait and damages it. How can you extend the life of the bait? You can simply flip it over and hook it by the belly if you have a passive slug. Or you can spin it 360 degrees and make a lot of holes all over the center. Here's the hook, I've been here. And this way, your bait will last much longer. Definitely try this life hack. Now I'm going to share a little life hack with you. When we fish for a long time with a silicone bait, one end can get damaged by the hook. Let's say the upper back. This is where it can get damaged. We flip it over belly side up and we hook it by the belly. This is a really good useful life hack. This way, you can extend the life of your bait and it will bite and you will have fish. Still many casts. That's why I say you can do it this way too. Basically to be a bit clever. I'm being a little tricky now with 3 grams and we'll try further. See, bam, a little pike just hit. On another cast with a pause, you felt a little bite. I'll check, it's sitting there. But now let's try to search a bit closer together. Of course, perch, pike, whoever bites for us. This retrieve is for perch, and here we have an active fish. Ourselves, we're going to try now. To search a bit further out, let's say from the middle of the water, because I attached 3 grams, and 3 grams is already a normal weight. You can cast it, there's a perch, you can cast it very far. As I said, a bit further away from the shore, it moved out there. A 3-inch lure, 3 grams of fish. So, both the perch and the little one aren't fully swallowing it. They're taking it from the side, which is fine by us. All of this is quite pleasing. We adjust it, it's all intact, everything's great, and we send it back. Where we roughly found it, in that area. Look, there was a bite over there. The fish is on the move. And let's keep trying. Got it. Wow, I fell asleep. There was a fish right away. If it didn't pull the lure, then we can keep reeling it in. But I don't know, let's pull it out, because if it pulled it off, we'll just be wasting our time. It didn't just pull it off. I thought it had swallowed it completely, but it just knocked it around a bit. Didn't really pull it. We need to re-rig it like this and cast it back to where the bite was. To the same spot. Again, we take both and off they go, since it was biting almost on the drop. So, right now I think we'll catch some more in that nice promising spot. A couple of casts. I feel every bite. In my hand, I haven't been looking at the rod or its tip or the line for a long time. I know when my line is slack, when my bait hits the bottom. It's all about experience. That's why I always feel all the bites in my hand, guys. I can even sense the slightest touch from a perch. I can feel all these little jabs. Even the slightest touch of the perch can be felt. On the rod, even if the fish is not big, easy hook, everything always gives back to the handle titchku. It's very easy and straightforward to understand. That's why I recommend it to you too. Buy a rod that will allow you to smell well and fish with pleasure, with comfort for yourself. So you can determine the bites by feel, instead of just watching the line or dealing with the wind. At its top tip, this is all for beginners, I would say. Not long ago I made a video where I talked about whether there's a difference in lure color, meaning can perch distinguish colors. Now let's check this again. I want to say that yes, friends, perch can distinguish colors, and quite well. I'm specifically using the lure that I've already caught several fish with. And we're attaching this one. I'm carefully threading it through as well, so that it doesn't get snagged. And let's give it a try. The color also seems to be really great. Look at this. It's such a cool color. Natural. Cool. It doesn't play at all because it's a slug. So let's go ahead and give it a try now. Just like that, 3 grams, and I'm starting to see how this affects the fish. I don't know. It seems so, and this color is good, like this one. It catches pretty well and is also natural, but they're not biting anymore, so the shade plays a big role too. I'm sure that if I throw it 35 times now, I won't have any line left on this silicone. If I put that one back, it'll immediately catch that fish. Who knows? Very often, manufacturers do increase in bait. So for example, a 2-inch silicone, they work very well, some shape, some color. They're trying to increase it. And they release, for example, 2 inches, 3. There's a limit to the size somewhere. When they are fishing, trying everything in this shape, in this color, for example, if it's bigger than this lure, like 1 inch, it just won't bite. There's no point in doing it. For example, another one, and they just take it and stop there. And let's say they come up with new shapes and everything else, because lures, for example, passive ones also have size limits. As I call it, they can't be bigger than, well, usually 3 inches. Because anything bigger than 3 inches is already for pike lures for larger fish. And for larger fish, you need a lure. It's already active, some kind of vibrotail, or most likely, well, a little twister, something like that. And they make them bigger, already active, and Okun won't take this. A huge lure, he simply won't be able to bite it. So guys, it's all pretty simple. Second cast, not a nibble, not a hello, not a goodbye. I don't have anything. He doesn't want to take this color. Although I took the new one out of the pack. You see, it should have been the opposite, apparently. It should have been tearing it apart. New lure, everything's great, everything's good. And hey, how's it behaving? Let's go. And I'm playing with it and lifting it up. Nope. It just doesn't want to at all. Something's off. Something's not right if we're changing it to another one right now. And we immediately start getting bites, even on ours, the old one. But I would like to use this, as I call it, which I have already caught today. Here we can say half of China. We take it, and now we pass it through the top and bottom of the belly. At this point, it really doesn't matter much, as long as it's on the hook. Here we go. We throw it over. It's not an easy snag, yeah. It's a bit tangled. And let's go ahead and make a cast. Over there. There and there. We send it and do the wiring to it. And I'm sure that now a few wires on and on it will bite. You are such a long experiment for you. It's really boring. So, I want to do everything in one shot to try to help you understand. But at the same time, you already know that today we were fishing with this one. This bait worked great. And the new one, no matter how much you walk around or cast it. Strange color. Maybe this color is made for sea fish, for some bass or other perch. What are they called there? You see, we often use baits, edible ones, like Japanese silicone, for our fish, for perch, for pike. But in reality, they are made for completely different fish. They are made for sea fishing, even. It happens for the fish, depending on what bodies of water they have. Perhaps this red color catches some of theirs well. Wow, there was a nice bite. They're crazy perch, right? There, I caught up. Not ours. See what I said? As soon as I hook another one, I'll immediately have a perch. Maybe it works even better for their fish than this one, but our fish bites really well. It works based on these colors. It's unclear, again, how all of this works in nature, how it is in life. Who knows? I've never caught a perch. From this side, from this direction, I've never tried it at all. Let's give it a shot. It's there, just under that angle, no matter how many times I cast before. I've never had a bite, whether in summer or now. I've tried many times. Maybe we'll get lucky now. Maybe it's good there. It's a bit shallower there than straight ahead. Of course, it might be standing in the hole, but we want to catch it. That's because when I come fishing, I know, okay, I need to cast here. This is where it will be Sometimes you can even see visually where they are. You look down at the terrain and realize, yes, there will be perch here. Even when you're walking by the water, you think, man, what a great spot, a drop-off. And there is such a cliff, and there is a hole there, right? Or a shallow beach, some sandy spot. There should definitely be perch there, no doubt about it. And you start fishing right away, making your casts. You just get a little nibble at some point, and then you get a good hit. I'm using a double retrieve, but often perch also bite on a steady retrieve. This rule happens in similar places like these ponds. On rivers, perch rarely bite on a steady retrieve, but here for some reason it happens. It really stands out in such bodies of water. It's more familiar to him. I guess I've even had cases where I catch perch better on a steady, smooth retrieve than on a step retrieve. It was also a bit of nonsense for me when I came to fish. Not far from this pond. This spot is located there, and there's also a little shelf, and we were fishing there. Sani says just do a steady retrieve, and that's it. And now I'm showing how we do it, and I'm like tap, 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 doing it my way. And what do you think? Nothing was biting for me at all. Only when I tried a steady retrieve, just a simple one, just to make sure my lure and weight weren't scraping along the bottom. I wasn't dragging it, just leading it steadily, and suddenly the perch started hitting like crazy, guys. I think, what the hell does this even happen? What the hell is this? It's nonsense, some dog nonsense. Yeah, as they say, they were just tearing it up for me. So every pond and every spot has its own bait and its own retrieve. There's nothing like that. Just standard. Yeah, there are some standard techniques. The pike loves... There's a bite. The pike loves a long, smooth retrieve there. For example, perch bites on the paws. Yeah, but these are all just standards, you know. They don't work the same everywhere. Whoa. And over there with you. That's what I was saying. As soon as we changed the spot and direction, a certain color worked for us. It worked. Yeah. Well, would you look at that? Well, right now we caught a decent perch here. At a new spot, he took it closer to the shore. Nice one. I would say you can't argue with that, right? It's a nice perch, and it feels good on the shovel. The hit was good, and when it's that palm-sized, he just takes our lure right into his mouth, like an inch in. It's sticking out completely. But you see the edge of the jig head. When he wants it, he just hits it with a thud right there. Sharp, like that. This is such a perch. Well, a good perch. Nothing to say. Swim. Right now, when it's cold, perch often hang out right by the shore. These can be drop-offs along the shore. They can be snags, stumps, or fallen branches. There's a perch here. It's a drop-off. The water here is a bit warmer than over there, and the fish come here, guys. She's catching fry here, like at a laundromat in the reeds. So there's fish. Approach this wisely. You shouldn't just walk up and stand right at the edge of the shore. Don't go more than 5 meters and cast into the first 3 to 5 meters of these shorelines. Here, right near your drop-off. At the edge of the shore, there will be fish. I've often had it happen that I get within 3 meters of the shore, and I get a bite, then another bite, and then a third bite, and they're not bad perch. And the pike often hangs out there. You've probably noticed more than once that as you walk along the shore, right under the bank, like this, you could say the tail of the pike is already on dry land. 1.5, 2 different specimens. Because she's coming out here now. It's autumn, it's her time. So guys, don't get too close so you don't scare them away. Stay a little further back and cast from the side. Now I'll show you how I did it. And yes guys, he bit. I have it right by the shore again. Not somewhere out there, but here's another one already. Such a nice one. Let's throw him back from the edge here. She won't leave right now. So, with time, nothing to worry about. And now we're going to make a cast right at our feet here. Look. Here. Under myself. Yeah, I'm bringing it right up to the reeds. I think, man, it can't be just a current. I'm about to get snagged. I pull away and feel a tug. Right here. I would even say it's at the length of the damn rod. Can you imagine? There is another cute one right at my feet. At the length of the rod, and a whole school, by the way. Look, if I were to keep anything today, I would have caught a nice bunch of decent perch, right? Oh my. Already. On the 4th, 5th, I'm casting from here. From one spot, I'm casting right here. Right, into the reeds. It seems like just half a turn of the reel now. And that's it. Yeah, I can get snagged like this, right? But no man, they keep biting and biting. But such a nice one. There's a nice perch standing right here. We're letting you go, come on. Catch it. Look, where is he standing? You just lower it down like this. Right under his nose. Just gently lower it down with your hands. You just lift it up from the edge of the reeds. From one spot to another. The whole reed bed is standing. Damn it. So can you imagine? What's here? What's there? Can you lower it down? Just lower it down like this. Just don't let it get away and catch it. Dig up with gentle tosses. Yes, come here. And it's actually a pretty good one. In the thickest reeds. Sometimes you can just dig for perch with chips and a big bait weighing 3 grams. He's standing in the reeds. You can throw it like this, just a little bit further. Just don't let it get away. And we're trying here with a little bit of a light twitch retrieve. Well, I hope you found this video interesting, and it was great chatting with you. I took a walk, and I really love making videos for you, especially when you like and comment, guys. I want to say that there are really very few days left now. Soon the ice will form and the view of the back will be problematic. Only in some channels or where the current is, where the water doesn't freeze. So get out there, go fishing, take a walk, and thank you for being with me. I'm really glad that you're watching my videos. Peace to everyone and kindness to all. I hope to see you soon.